Ladies and gentlemen, my name is J.D. Hawk, Vice President of Michigan Community Television Incorporated. Due to COVID-19, candidates have had a difficult time reaching out to prospective voters. This event is to introduce those candidates running for the offices available in Oscoda Township. Each and every candidate that is listed on the 2020 election ballot was contacted by a registered, signature-required letter inviting them to this event. Unfortunately, due to work commitments, Mr. Jeremy Spencer is unable to join us at this event. Each candidate will be given 5 minutes to introduce themselves, identify what office they are running for, why they chose to run for that office, and a short summary of what they hope to accomplish if they are elected. These are the only topics they will discuss, and MICTV is presenting this with no endorsement of any candidate or political party.
Hi, I'm Tim Cummings, an incumbent trustee on the Township Board at Oscoda. For those Oscoda residents who voted for me in 2016, where I promised improvements, change, and growth, you'll be happy to know I delivered on my commitments. 4 years ago, one of my objectives for this term as trustee was to improve Oscoda's economy. In just a few years, we've made great progress. I've represented the Township at the Air Force Restoration Advisory Board meetings and investigated the wrongdoings and mishandlings by the Air Force regarding the remediation and contamination and destruction of the environmental records. The Air Force now has 3 filtration plants in operation, with another one planned for construction next year. I've been involved in technology upgrades at Township Hall, such as the network recabling project, the network equipment upgrade, and the installation of redundant fiber internet. I've also been responsible for the technology upgrades at Old Orchard Park, where we've replaced the HughesNet with an installation of fiber internet and upgraded their phone system. In support of Old Orchard, I brokered the deal for Wi-Fi to campers to improve their camping experience at no additional cost to the township. As trustee, I'm responsible for oversight and emerging issues. 3 years ago, I identified delays in the Phase 1 water main project. The project is now completed, and these residents have clean water. I was one of the board members on the committee to negotiate the police labor union contract. But it's the board's decision to establish an economic improvement committee and then hiring an experienced economic improvement director that resulted in 18 currently active industrial, commercial, residential, mixed-use, and municipal projects. Why, just last week, 30 outside investors came to Oscoda to evaluate the development opportunities at the airport and within the Oscoda Township boundaries. These investors represented aerospace companies, aerospace suppliers, and specialty companies associated with the aerospace industry. We haven't had this kind of hot news in a long time. This incredible success is due to the township having marketed development opportunities to outside companies, something Oscoda Township hadn't apparently done well in the past. You may also be surprised to hear we are already seeking federal funding to expand the industrial park near the airport. And Oscoda Township is still a strong competitor for the horizontal launch. This is a lot to be proud of, Oscoda. As for my plans, if I'm reelected, I will continue to push the Air Force to provide a remediation plan and clean up the contamination they left behind. I will continue to look for ways to improve government services at lower cost. I've proven myself as a board member who brings solutions to problems to the board table, and I'll continue to do so. And I will continue to support the current board's efforts to win the spaceport for Oscoda Township and attract those new businesses. The spaceport is currently the brightest star on Oscoda's horizon. But it's not in the bag yet. There's more work to be done, and where there's more work, experienced hands are needed. Some candidates on this year's ballot are talking about economic gardening as a new approach to develop Oscoda's economy from within. Cannibalizing ourselves to grow our local economy isn't going to lead to growth. A better approach is to attract business and investment from outside Oscoda. This is how the current board has done it, and it's been working very well. This year's ballot offers many choices for trustee. The experience levels of the trustee candidates vary widely. The trustee position pays less than $5,000 a year. The salary is by no means a way to suggest the time commitment of a trustee is less than any other board position. From my experience, if done properly, a trustee is just as busy as any other board member should be. As an Oscoda resident, like yourself, I want what's best for Oscoda. I want more local opportunities so our kids don't have to grow up and move away just to find a decent paying job. Just as I've actively helped improve Oscoda these past 4.5 years, with your vote, I'll continue to work towards making Oscoda a thriving community. This November, vote for Timothy L. Cummings for trustee. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am a Democratic candidate for Oscoda Township trustee. My name is Roseanne Curley. I have been a lifelong member of the Oscoda community, and I am here to talk about my commitment to Oscoda. I graduated from Oscoda High School, then went on to graduate from Central Michigan University with a Bachelor of Science degree. After college, I taught school in Oscoda for 32 years before retiring. For the last 2.5 years, I have been working in healthcare, and now I am homeschooling elementary age children. I have turned my living room into a schoolroom. The reason I decided to run for trustee is I have been encouraged by community members to put my past experience and knowledge into action for the benefit of our township. I want the best for our community, and I know community involvement is the way to do that. During this difficult time, we all need to do our best to find sensible solutions for our issues. We must unify our efforts to move to a positive place. There is strength in numbers. We need to work together. All board members must perform their official duties, which include voting on all issues, being responsible for the financial well-being of the township, and other duties as assigned. In executing these duties, the strength of the board members will be called upon. My past experiences will be a positive in meeting the township's challenging needs. My strengths come from being raised in a small town in a large family next to our grandparents' farm. Yes, I have milked a cow. Dad was a Republican and Mom was a Democrat. They canceled each other's votes. I have served for 12 years as the chair of the Democratic Party. I have met many influential people in high levels of the political arena. A highlight was talking to then Senator Obama on a conference call. I am an Oscoda River Canoe Marathon volunteer, and I also paddled in the Curley race with my son, Justin Griffith. We took second place. As a former Lions member, I enjoyed helping people through community service. I hope to join the Lions again and find them to be an enormous benefit to our community. Another accomplishment that shows my dedication to an active community was being a 10-year participant and winner of the Lions outhouse race. We made our first outhouse from my chicken coop. That was a great time for everyone. I am proud to be the recipient of the Governor's Golden Apple Award for exceptional student performance on the MEP tests. I also won a grant from the Governor's School to Work program. In partnership with Lakeshore Cement, my fourth graders made 12 by 12 exposed aggregate stones, creating a patio. In teaching math skills, I made quilts with my students using shapes. One quilt was dedicated to the children who lost family in 9/11. My memberships and associations include Michigan Educators Association, Iosco County Democratic Party, Need Our Water, 30-year member of American Legion Auxiliary, and member of Sacred Heart Catholic Church. My volunteer work includes former volunteer at U of M Medical Center in the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. For many years, I volunteered every Saturday at the local salmon weir. Because I love science and nature, I thoroughly enjoyed being a part of that project. It is my hope to bring a fresh and positive outlook to the Oscoda Township Board. I would also like to see an increase in medical and mental health care, including a drug rehab center. I would like to contribute to the development of the township's master plan and continue my work on the Riverwalk Committee. I envision the Riverwalk going from Mill Street Bridge to the River Road Bridge and hooking up to the Iron Bell Trail. We need to ensure that all people have internet available to them, especially at this time where educating our children is a priority. We have so many gifts from Mother Nature here in Oscoda. We are very lucky. We need to protect these treasures, which should include creating a recycling system for our community. I am eager to learn and contribute to helping our community through all the issues and will work hard to get things right. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mary Lawyer, and I'm running for the Oscoda Township Trustee. I'm originally from Harrisville, Michigan, where I was raised in a large family on a farm, and I graduated Alpena High School in 1982. In 1983, I moved to Oscoda to help manage a family-owned business. I've raised 5 daughters, all of which attended Oscoda area schools, and I currently have 6 grandchildren with 1 on the way. In 1992, I began working for the township as the utility billing clerk, and then, in 1995, I became the Oscoda Township Executive Secretary. Then you would have known me as Mary Hart. I worked for the township for a total of 24 years before resigning to work with our new family-owned business. This business has created jobs in Oscoda and will soon fill the housing needs in Oscoda. What makes me qualified for the position of Oscoda Township Trustee is my in-depth work history with the township and my love for this community. In my tenure with the township, I worked directly with the administration and in turn worked with several boards, authorities, commissions, and committees, but most importantly, the Charter Township Oscoda Board of Trustees. I have also worked directly with the Downtown Development Authority, the Industrial Development Commission, and I have extensive knowledge from working with the Huron Shores Regional Utility Authority and the E911 Advisory Board, and also the Oscoda Wordsmith Airport Authority. These are just to name a few. I have worked directly with the Township Administration during the years of base closure. I have assisted with writing grants, as well as the progress of those grants. I have worked with Township Department heads and administration in completing the annual budgets and maintaining these budgets throughout the years. I have experience with all internal departments of Oscoda Township. I have worked with the township legal teams and the CPAs directly. I have assisted in drafting ordinances, policies, and the operating procedures for the township. In my various duties with the township, I work directly with the citizens of Oscoda, handling all day-to-day issues, complaints, and requests. And this is just a brief outline of my time at the township. Why am I running for the position of Oscoda Township Trustee? Because I feel that my knowledge can assist with the issues that the township is currently facing. I believe greater effort needs to be given to the safe drinking water issues in our community. Specifically, citizens that have municipal water available to them but are unable to connect must be given options to obtain safe drinking water. An effort should be made to install new water lines to those affected expeditiously. I believe that local businesses should be a priority and outside interests to follow, but welcomed. Taxpayers first. I believe that the citizens of Oscoda should be heard, not ignored. Our citizens should not be frustrated with local politicians, but should be able to work cohesively with one another. When I am elected, I will work towards helping residents obtain safe drinking water. I will enforce the township ordinances as written and not with prejudice. I will return the open door policy, welcoming input from citizens. I will encourage open public comments at board meetings, allowing citizens an opportunity to be heard and answered. I will work to reverse the billing of the unused curb stops in Lakewood Shores. Oscoda has unique opportunities to assist our region, and I will work towards improving and expanding the relationship between Oscoda and our neighboring communities to enhance our combined contract services. And I will work towards creating a successful Oscoda Township and downtown area in a community where citizens of Oscoda once again are proud to say, I live in Oscoda. Thank you for your vote.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Mikas and I'm running for Oscoda Township Trustee. Although I grew up in Mankato, I am no stranger to the Oscoda area. My family originally settled in Oscoda and I spent most of my childhood growing up hearing stories of the good old days from the generations who were here long before me. If you ever see the Merkel family farm mural downtown by Landmark Title, just know that was my family's farm here in Oscoda. My passion for agriculture and natural resources began at a young age. I guess you can say that runs in my blood. After graduating from high school, I pursued and received a technical degree from Michigan State University in agricultural industries. I later went on to earn a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from Purdue University. I graduated from Purdue magna cum laude and as a member of Delta Honor Society. In between my degrees, I worked as a utility billing clerk for Oscoda Township. It was there that I was introduced to the world of politics. Closely following my graduation from Purdue, I accepted a position with Ogama Conservation District as their meat technician, and that's where I'm currently employed today. Given my education and background, I believe I'm an ideal candidate for this position on the board. I wish to give a voice to the younger generation that's present in Oscoda. I want to ensure that the Oscoda of the future is the Oscoda that's best for everyone, the generations before us and after us. There are various issues in Oscoda that we are currently facing, such as the PFAS contamination that's going to affect us all. There are also many people my age that do not know of the happenings in our community. I hope that by getting involved, I can inspire those around me to get involved as well. As I mentioned before, I grew up hearing stories of Oscoda when it was a booming town. In my lifetime, I want to experience that for myself. I want to see our town grow and flourish just like it once did. I want Oscoda to be an appealing, thriving community. I want for everyone, elected officials, residents, and local business owners to work collectively together to accomplish this. I'm prepared to add to the growth and development of our community in any way that I can. One thing that I am confident that I can offer our community is my knowledge about preserving our natural resources, or more specifically, recycling. I am more than ready to bring new ideas to the table, and my current position with the Conservation District empowers me to do so. It is my promise to the Oscoda residents that if I am elected, I will represent the township in a professional and ethical manner. I value honesty, integrity, and fairness, and I vow to treat my other board members with the utmost respect. I'm a solution-oriented team player who wants nothing more than for Oscoda to come together as a community and succeed. Part of Oscoda Township's mission statement states, the township is a steward of the public trust, administrator of responsive and efficient government, and a champion of transparency that works to serve and protect its citizens. It is our responsibility as residents to elect candidates that can uphold these values. While I do not have the political experience that the other candidates may have, I can assure you that if I'm elected, I will embrace and abide by these principles. I am ready to serve our community as Township Trustee. I may be young, but I am not afraid to take on the tasks at hand and stand up for what I believe in is right. I bring with me a new perspective, fresh ideas, and a true love for our beautiful little Sunrise Side town. I believe that with my old roots and my new perspective, I will not only bring integrity to the board, but also a mindset with Oscoda's best interest at the forefront of every decision. It's an honor to be here and speak today. I thank you all for watching and for the opportunity to sit on the Oscoda Township Board of Trustees. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Miner and I'm running for Oscoda Township Trustee. I'm an Oscoda High School graduate and a retired project manager who has been in the telecommunication business for over 40 years. And I'm currently working at Coletta Maintenance at Oscoda Wordsmith Airport. In my career, I've been fortunate enough to be involved in some very high-profile projects from coast to coast that implemented new technology within many regions of the United States. As plant manager of Lakeview Cablevision in the 80s, I was a part of a team that launched live production in the counties of Iosco and Alcona counties, of which Community Channel 13 was initiated. This also segued into the ability for businesses and organizations to advertise and promote events locally. During the same period, I was a member of the Oscoda Lions Club, which hosted the Miss Iosco County pageant and was able to assist on the production team to produce very high quality productions of local pageant. I was also involved in a production of the Osable River Canoe Marathon during the same time frame. In 1997, I took a position with TCI, Telecommunications Inc., currently Comcast Xfinity, as the North Central Region Project Manager. and was part of a team that implemented the rollout of internet across Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and Minnesota. This evolved into a project manager for the Chicago, Illinois, and Woodbridge, Virginia upgrade projects to roll out the initial digital and fiber platform within these regions. Once these upgrades were completed, the telecom industry began the transition into the wireless world. Again, I was fortunate enough to be involved in implementing IDAS, ODAS, and small cell networks in several unique venues, including Martha's Vineyard, Chicago International Speedway, Phoenix International Speedway, as well as the Circuit of the Americas Formula One track in Austin, Texas. In January of 2016, we were issued the contract to build the small cell networks for Verizon for the 2017 Super Bowl in Houston, Texas. This project took over a year to complete and included work in Houston, Galveston, and College Station. During this period, I worked with many different municipalities and townships to enable the completion of these projects on time and within budget. As Township Trustee, I will demonstrate knowledge about Township, general law, or charter government responsibilities, functions, responsibilities, and powers. Identify the major function of each branch of government, local, state, and federal, along with their relationships to one another. Be aware of the roles and responsibilities of other elected and appointed offices in the township. Understand how township policies and procedures are set, and demonstrate knowledge of how ordinances are lawfully adopted and legally enforced. Communicate effectively with individuals, departments, and committees to achieve desired outcomes. I believe that we, as a township, are at a crossroad for success that needs a plan in place to develop a functional working board to make Oscoda Township a great place to live for our next generation and generations to come. Thank you, and I appreciate your support on November 3rd.
Hi, my name is Bill Palmer. My wife and I bought our first vacation home here in Oscoda in 1988. It was on Lake Huron, about 2 miles north of 3 Mile Park. We were there for about 16 years. We then sold that and bought a place on Van Etten Lake, which is where we are today. In 2014, I sold my business and retired, and we moved here full-time. My wife and I chose Oscoda because we both had very fond memories of Oscoda, vacationing here with our families when we were children, and we wanted to create those same memories for our children. And that has been successful because our children and now our grandchildren love coming up here when they're able, and of course Grandma and I are happy with that. Since we were here for 5 years before the base closed, I was able to observe the town before and after. I was hoping that the township would focus more on tourism after the closing, but in my observations, it seemed to me that the township has just been treading water for 25 years. I was appointed to the board in 2016 and then ran for the board in November of 2016 and was elected in that year. My hope was to try and encourage development in the township, and during the last 4 years, and primarily in the last 2 years, we are beginning to see some promise of development. Unfortunately, it is a very slow process. For the last 4 years, I have been very involved in the IET, which is the Iosco Exploration Trail Committee. That is part of the Iron Bell Trail, which spans the length of Michigan. The IET has worked extremely hard to make this non-motorized trail a reality, and you can see the results and the fruits of that labor in the Phase 1 portion from Mill Street out to the school, which is now complete. We are now working on phase 3, which will take it from the school out to Rhea Road, which we have all the funding in place for, and now are working to get the matching funds necessary for the $720,000 grant, which we have tentatively been approved for. This is to extend the bike path from the Rhea Road out to Old Orchard Park. The cost of that is approximately $948,000, of which we have the $720,000 grant already approved. We're seeking the other $200,000 in other grant fundings to make that a reality. I've also been working closely with the NOW group, which is Need Our Water, in battling the Air Force for the plumes emanating from the former base and entering Van Nant Lake and Clark's Marsh. Through the efforts of the NOW group, working with our legislators, the Air Force was awarded $13.5 million exclusively for Wordsmith for cleanup. Just recently, the Air Force said they would be putting in additional extraction fields and treatment facilities to filter the PFAS from the groundwater, but we need to stay on top of them in this effort to ensure they follow through in a timely manner. Their history has not been to that effect. Another issue that has come up in the past year is Furtaw Field. I can assure you that no decision by this current board has been made. I stated several months ago, based on the properties we had been looking at, that I felt Furtaw was the best choice. However, I am certainly willing to look at any other ideas relating to the municipal fire and police facility. What I know for a fact is that our police and fire departments need more room, and they do an outstanding job for our community and deserve new facilities. In summary, I am asking for your support so that I can continue the work I have started and have been involved in. I feel an obligation to finish things that I start and ask you to allow me to do that. Thank you very much.
I'm Alan Strickland. I am running for Oscoda Township Trustee as an independent. I am a lifelong resident of Oscoda. I served 9 years in the Marine Corps, and since I've returned home, I've missed serving. I would like to put that energy towards my community. I would love to see this town thrive with business from local entrepreneurs and outside business as well. My main goal, if elected, would be to serve on a board that communicates effectively with each other and to listen to the people of Oscoda. Thank you for your time.
Hello, I'd like to introduce myself to the voters of Oscoda Township, Michigan, and ask for your vote in the upcoming election on November 3rd, 2020. I'm Stephen Worcesterbarth. I'm 53 years old. I'm running for trustee of Oscoda Township. I'm a Roman Catholic, son, brother, husband, and father. I am a Republican with conservative views. I am married to the love of my life, Kathy Coulon Worcesterbarth, who was born and raised in Oscoda. We have three grown children. I've been a property owner in Oscoda Township since 1999 and a resident of Oscoda since 2011. The state of Michigan is my birth state, although I spent most of my childhood and school years in Marion, Indiana. I started working at age 12 in the swimming pool and spa industry. After my high school graduation, I operated my own swimming pool and spa company and worked as an iron worker to pay my own way through college. I hold a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology from Purdue University, West Lafayette, Indiana. After graduating college, I relocated to the Detroit metropolitan area to begin my career in the automotive industry. Currently, I am employed by Mitsubishi Chemical America as Vice President of Marketing and Business Development, and I have over 31 years of employment in roles within the executive management and engineering fields with major Tier 1 automotive suppliers. My community involvement over the years have included past Oscoda Township trustee and Planning Commission commissioner for the township. I'm a past Cub Scout and Boy Scout leader, a 22-year member of the Knights of Columbus. I support Save Our Shoreline, Need Our Water, the Cedar Lake Association, and I'm currently the secretary of the St. George's Point Property Owners Association. I'm also a member of the IOSCO Sportsman Club, IOSCO Flying Club, Sons of the American Legion, and SALVAIL Trail Riders, and the Mississinawa Valley Corvette Club. My professional organizations include the OESA, which is the Original Equipment Suppliers Association. I'm a past president council member from 1998 to 2001. Society of Automotive Engineers, Society of Plastics Engineers, and an alumni board member of the Per University Polytechnic Institute, and a 25-year member of the Detroit Athletic Club. What is prompting me to seek election? I have a few reasons. The inability of the current township board to maintain a positive and professional approach to their elected roles and responsibilities, the failure to provide leadership and maintain a simple decorum in their actions and negotiations, and the current disaster of the township finances. This township has significant challenges with infrastructure, a stagnant tax base, and growing spending commitments. We have significant opportunities, though, for new investments by future businesses and residents. We need a board that will provide a positive face to these potential opportunities. The board needs to be focused on growth, incentives, infrastructure, fiscal responsibility, and I stress fiscal responsibility, spending oversight, revenue growth of the tax base, and strong partnerships with residents and businesses. This is not the situation today. Simply, there is too much bickering and not enough action. I'm also disappointed, and one of the main reasons for running is the inaction of the trustees concerning the DDA, formal DDA situation that left the township with over $300,000 of debt that should have not been allowed. If I'm elected, what do I hope to accomplish? I will vote on all issues. I will take responsibility for the township's fiduciary health, and I will take other duties as assigned by the township board. Also, I will provide leadership on the township board for a higher level of professionalism within our local government, develop a welcoming community for visitors and economic development, enhance partnerships with our residents, business owners, county and state entities, and create more openness of our local government to the general public. I am a professional that views the running of this township as a business. I would apply my decades of experience creating and developing successful businesses to Oscoda Township. This will result in a thriving, enjoyable community for its residents and visitors. If the voters choose to elect me as a township trustee, I would do my best to put the trust back into the trustee position. Thank you very much.
Who am I? Why am I here? That is a good question. I am one of the 2% of Oscoda Township residents that decided to step up and run for the election to the local township board. I am LAURIE, an independent candidate running for township clerk. I am a 1998 Oscoda High School graduate and have been an Oscoda resident for 35 years. I have 2 children I'm raising in Oscoda Township, and my parents also reside here after retiring from the United States Air Force. Being a hard worker is nothing new to me by any means. I worked for Big Dave's and also Burger King as a manager in training when I was just a teenager. I then started my career with Rite Aid in 2001 as a cashier, working my way up through the company. I have 15 plus years in business management. Some duties included meeting operational standards, budgeting, controlling costs, payroll, customer service, and many more. I left February of 2020 after almost 19 years. I am currently a tax specialist with H&R Block. I am up to date on all tax laws and continuous updates. I have a financial background. I review financial statements, and I can use a general ledger. I decided to run as an independent candidate for township clerk to strengthen the integrity, the honesty, and the commitment to our community. I want to create an atmosphere of civility, local standards, and commitment to community respect. I have never given up on anything in my life, which is why I, as a township clerk, would utilize my skills and backgrounds to perform the duties over politics. Some duties of the clerk include record retention, handling of important documents, general ledger, financial statements, and delivering tax statements. All of these duties are well covered in my background. I believe my business, my ethics, and professional background bring forth skills and experience that will be valuable to the clerk's position. My vision is to rebuild and restore our community by improving public perception. I would like to utilize the Artisan Hall as it was intended to be used for our community, to have gatherings and events, renting out for functions to the members of the town to generate revenue. It is a beautiful building that should be seen and used. I also would like to see more use of the Fertile Field, keeping the green space for the public to use as we see fit. More festivals, craft shows, wine tastings, concerts, even snowman making contests. Just a few suggestions. The clerk is an important member of the board. One of the most important aspects of the clerk position is managing elections. I would like to take a brief moment and discuss this as well. Please remember the importance of voting and making your vote count. If you select a party affiliation at the top of your ballot this year, you do not get a vote in every position of the local election. To make your vote count, you will need to select each candidate that you believe is best suited for the position and the community. Any questions on the importance of not voting straight ticket, I would be happy to answer. Once again, I am Laurie SALVAIL, running as an independent candidate for Township Clerk. Make your vote count. Remember, folks, a vote for me is a vote for you. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you to Michigan Community Television Incorporated for putting this on for the Meet the Candidates program so we can meet everyone in these trying times. I'm Joshua Sutton, Republican candidate for Oscoda Township Clerk, endorsed by State Representative Sue Aller for economic growth and conservative values. I currently serve the community as a member of the local Development Finance Authority, Oscoda County Captain for Repeal 1945, Oscoda Lions Club, SALVAIL Freemasons, Alcona Eastern Stars, 10-year soccer coach for Oscoda AYSO, and Regional Commissioner for Oscoda AYSO. I've worked for both the Oscoda Township and the Oscoda Police Department as the Code Compliance Officer, as well as working for Mankato, Greenbush, and ASAVAL Townships as Zoning Administrator, Code Enforcement Officer, and Maintenance. In April, I started working with Republicans and others around the state on the Repeal 1945 initiative, Unlock Michigan, so we could get our small businesses open in our communities up here and back to work. If elected, I will work to provide city water to all those who are still living with contaminated well issues in our local area, as well as supporting economic growth for the whole township from US 23 to M65. In working and talking with people in the community, they express concern that they are not being heard by our current board on topics such as Fertile Field and the recent decision to change the treasurer and clerk's office to part-time. In the words of Grover Cleveland, office holders are the agents of the people, not their masters. I think everyone running for office needs to remember that this is an honor to be elected and work for the people of Oscoda, and that in doing so, we become agents of the people of Oscoda. If you elect me to be your next township clerk, I promise to always listen to our community and fight for our community's needs and wants. I will bring experience and integrity to our Oscoda Township Board. If you want a clerk who works for the people and is not scared to stand up for the people, then vote for Joshua Sutton. Thank you very much.
The Township Treasurer's position should have three things. 1, accounting background, of which I have 35 years. 2, it should be part-time, which I've called for since 2004, saving about $35,000 a year. And 3, an interest in saving taxpayers' money. That's me. I'm Mimi McDonald, and I'm running for Oscoda Township Treasurer.
Hello, my name is Jamie McGuire. I'm a 1982 Oscoda High School graduate. Go Blue. I come from a military family, and I'm happy to say 4 generations of my family still live, work, and play here. I've been involved on the STING board, with the policy committee. I volunteered for many committees and functions for the school, but by far the Paul Bunyan Festival was the favorite that I volunteered for in the dunk tank because my family took great advantage of that and the chamber made a lot of money that year. My employment began with Oscoda Township in 1997 when I started in the treasurer's office working part-time doing the accounts payable. And I did the deposits also. In 2000, I was appointed deputy clerk, and then in 2002, I was elected treasurer after a large recall. Since then, I've served in the capacity as treasurer for Oscoda Township, proudly. During that time, I have been accredited by the Michigan Municipal Treasurers Institute and graduated with the class of 2005 and continued my education. I was also accredited by the Michigan Certified Public Treasurer and being a Certified Public Finance Administrator. Why am I running? I would like to bring back integrity and professionalism to the board. What would I like to accomplish? Bring back the team mentality, showing that we can disagree, but still function for the betterment of Oscoda Township overall. I support the strategic statement from 2019, and I hope that new board members feel the same and bring vision and insight to help Oscoda take flight. I truly enjoy the day-to-day operations and duties of the treasurer's office, but by far the interactions with the public are my favorite. Whether it's picking up trash with like-minded neighbors or burning retired flags at the American Legion, I love my community. Thank you for this opportunity to speak and for your continued support.
For those of you that do not know me, my name is Ann Richards, and I'm running for Oscoda Township Supervisor as an independent candidate. I'd first like to thank those involved with organizing this Meet the Candidate opportunity for the 2020 election. I thought I'd start with a little background information about myself. My family vacationed in Oscoda when I was in middle school from the Union Lake area. Our family of 5 spent 3 amazing summers living on a 30-foot sea ray docked at the former yacht club until we could move here year-round when I was just starting 10th grade. My dad ran a charter boat called the La Jolie, and my mom sold real estate for the community. I am a proud Oscoda alumni, class of 1986. While I was attending college, my parents and brother moved further north to the Upper Peninsula around the 1990 timeframe to be closer to my sister. After graduating from Ferris State University in 1992 with a bachelor's degree in business, I briefly lived in Aurora, Illinois until relocating to the Upper Peninsula. In 2007, I moved back to Oscoda with my daughter, Anastasia. I have been in a committed relationship with Matt Jack for the last 13 years. We have a blended family that consists of my daughter and his 2 sons and 1 daughter. Matt was born and raised in Oscoda and is self-employed as a general contractor. We own a home at 6185 North US 23, and I'm pretty sure we've been renovating it since the day we moved in. We have 2 amazing dogs, Daisy and Chloe. I'm a real estate agent with Heritage House, Oscoda, SALVAIL. Now to the tough stuff. Why should you vote for me, you ask? I don't suppose me using my mom card of because I said so was going to work in this scenario. All kidding aside, I would be honored to represent the people of this great community. I love Oscoda, always have, always will. I will not profess to have all the answers, but I can promise you I will listen and do my very best to work in a professional manner with the other board members to continue to move this community forward for a place that we want to live, work, and play in. I believe my 10 years of employment with Oscoda Township brings a wealth of experience to my resume. I'm proud of the projects that I was a part of, and I thought I would highlight some of those. The wayfinding signage project with the SALVAIL Township, 2012 road reconstruction and streetscape project, the 2012 pier project, water main projects in the downtown area, Downtown Development Authority sidewalk and parking improvement projects, the Downtown Development Authority facade improvement grant project, the Downtown Development Artisan Market project, management role in the community center for 2 years, Oscoda Beach Park improvement projects of the splash pad and the skate park, Michigan Trust Fund acquisition grant to expand the Oscoda Beach Park, Phase 1 water main extension project due to PFAS contamination, Wordsmith District responsibilities, which included MEDC grant management, real estate transfers, demolition projects, tenant management, and a $1.2 million Veterans Affairs expansion project. I also served as a liaison to numerous civic and business groups and regional economic organizations like NEMCOG and MCOG. Some of the goals, if elected as supervisor, are management of the township's infrastructure and services by way of maintenance of the existing assets, as well as planning for expansion should the situation arise due to economic growth or negative environmental issues. Number 2 is to promote community engagement and collaborating with neighboring communities, organizations, and regional economic groups. And number 3 is promote economic gardening, which is basically recognizing the importance of those already firmly rooted in this community, donating to our fundraisers and sponsoring our youth sports teams. That does not diminish the need for attracting new business, but instead acknowledges the importance of a strong business climate as a tool for attracting continued growth without detriment to those already here. I support the township's current commitment to become a redevelopment-ready community. In close, I would like to share one of my favorite quotes by Abraham Lincoln. I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. Imagine what a world this would be if we all lived by that motto. Thank you very much for your time, and I would sincerely appreciate your vote as Oscoda Township Supervisor on November 3rd. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert TASIOR. I am running for the position of Oscoda Township Supervisor. Over the past several years, I have served on the Planning Commission, the Restoration Advisory Board, the Economic Improvement Committee, the Iosco County Housing Commission, and several other boards and commissions. I decided to run for the vacated supervisor position because of my experience serving on these boards. I believe that Oscoda's best years are ahead of us. Our potential for economic development and growth is great. Many issues will need to be overcome and addressed, but I am positive that our path to economic stability is laid out through best practices and proven processes that work. Issues like contamination, our infrastructure, lack of housing, a viable, walkable downtown, support for our local businesses, zoning ordinance issues, communications between our residents and our elected and appointed officials, vague goals and objectives, and inconsistent strategies. These are just a few of the issues that we face. We must continue to work to seek funding for expanding our water lines in the areas impacted by the PFAS contamination. We must also work with Eagle and the Air Force to completely resolve the contamination leaching out of the closed Air Force Base. Our industrial district is in need of infrastructure. We must improve our infrastructure to help create job growth. Implementation of redevelopment-ready community certification under the guidelines of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation is key to addressing many of these issues, such as housing, development, and zoning problems that have plagued us for years. Form-based code zoning will address our business districts and restrictive zoning and ordinances, and review will bring our community into the present and the future. Updating our master plan with real goals and objectives that match our strategic plan and our economic plan will keep us all working toward the same vision. Strategies like the Guide to Development, a community engagement plan, and board and recruitment plan will help move us into achieving our goals and objectives. My history shows that I can work with people in a civil and professional way. Open communications does not mean only talk. You have to be able to listen also. Working towards solutions only works when you identify the issues fully and completely. Once that is done, viable solutions can be found. I believe it is the right time for me to run for this position. I think that Oscoda has many opportunities that are coming, and we have to be prepared for that. I am thoroughly convinced that following the procedures set down in redevelopment-ready strategies and best practices will lead us into a bright future for Oscoda Township, for all of our residences, all of our businesses, and future development. Thank you, and vote for Bob for Oscoda Township.
I'd like to offer our sincerest thanks to our volunteers who assisted us in our technical arena, a genuine thanks to our candidates, and of course, our heartfelt thanks to you, our audience. We hope this has been both informative and helpful. My name is J.D. Hawk, Vice President of MICTV, and it is always a pleasure to serve our community.